symptoms of my CPTSD, not feeling safe because now I have strangers coming out of the woodworks trying to do God knows what to me. I think that when it initially happened, I was too nice about the situation because I was in shock. But sitting and thinking about it now, I'm lucky to be alive. I'm very lucky to be alive. I'm so stressed out, and it's so not fair because I try so hard to do the right things. And it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that it's easier to be a bad person. It's not fair. You should absolutely get rewarded for doing the right things in life, but life is not set up like that. Life is not set up like that. Life rewards the people that do bad things. It absolutely does. And I'm so sick of it. My whole life has been struggle because the system was built against me. And the cops are fucking harassing me so bad now. I went to, well, I can't say where I went because it's not safe to talk about where I go now. So I went somewhere, and immediately, 20 minutes after sitting in the parking lot, the law showed up and started riding around me, and it's because I'm in a blacked out truck. They've always been pesky. They've always been on my ass already. And my tags are in my name, and my tags, when you run my name, it shows up as old drug charges. Even though it's been over 10 years since I've had any kind of charge, they absolutely are still on my ass. And I was sitting there, and he goes riding by, and then he goes riding by, and I'm like, well, I guess that's my hint that I have to move. So I left and went and sat somewhere else, and I was there for 20 minutes, and another one pulled in. And it's like, damn, when can I catch a break? First of all, where do you want me to fucking go? If you want me to go somewhere, you have to tell me where to go. But when you ask the cops, where do you want me to park? Where do you suggest I go? They throw their hands up because they're idiots nowadays. I'm just being for real. They're idiots. They don't even go through the necessary training to become a police officer. I can't blame them for not knowing, which part of the city I should sleep in, despite the fact that they grew up in that city and they was born and raised in that city. I can't be surprised. So then I get to McDonald's, of course, no Wi-Fi. 2023, nowhere has Wi-Fi. And freaking cops roll in. So apparently, they're I don't know, dude. And this is how it is. I'm sure that it says that they've made contact with me in the past, and you can see, as a police officer, all of the notes that were written by other police officers on other situations. The last time they made contact with me, the last time they pulled me for something, it'll have notes in there, and they can see what I've been up to and when the officer made contact with me, the state that I was in, my mood, what all was said. It'll have a lot of information in those notes. So I have no doubt that when these officers are seeing me in these random locations, that they're running my tags, thinking that I'm here up to some nefarious shit, but also they can see in the notes that it says that I'm homeless. They're not stupid. They have access to a lot more information than you could even imagine. They know who the fuck I am without having to know who the fuck I am. Just from being able to look up my record and see what's been written about me from past incidences. So, I have no doubt that they don't want me around because I have a criminal record and I'm fucking homeless. It's just a sad fact. It's a reality of being homeless that everybody's going to treat you like shit because you're homeless. I hope so, Travis, but unfortunately, I do not think that things are going to get better before they get worse, or I think that things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. I think that, I don't think that I think that things are going to fucking crumble before they get better. And I think that even having him in office, I don't know how much it's going to help. I mean, I absolutely want Trump in office. I'm voting for Trump. He is our only hope at this point. And I truly believe that he is the best candidate. I think that he is a good person. And it's crazy to me that I was brainwashed by the left into believing that he was some racist piece of shit, when in all actuality, he's probably the best candidate that we have right now going forward with the current economic situation that we are currently in. So, I've got to know a lot about him through old media that the new media don't want you to see. And he is a kind man. He is. And I know a lot of people hate on him because he's a billionaire and he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. But at the end of the day, he's truly trying to help. And I think that he wants what is best for this country. And he's the only one I see pushing for that. I did like Vivek. He was pretty cool. I like Ron, as a governor. I really liked Ron as a governor. When Ron first started, putting in forth new laws and new regulations and changing thing in the state of Florida, when he started doing that, it was amazing. And everybody thought that he was going to be a great candidate for this presidency. However, I just don't think that Ron is there yet. I don't think Ron hasn't developed who he is yet. Ron is not mature yet. He may seem like it from all outwards appearances, but I'm here to tell you that when it really comes to it, Ron is the type currently that will roll over and fucking take it instead of sticking to his guns. We saw when he was debating how easily influenced he was. When you meet a person that's wishy-washy like that, they're not trustable. And Ron is not in a point in his career where he's able to have some balls about himself. And that's just my opinion. Maybe, it's going to go one or two ways. He's going to end up becoming a great, potentially, he'll probably run again. But he'll end up becoming potentially a great president or leaving a bad legacy. He'll leave a good legacy or a bad legacy. And it's a pivotal moment in his career, in my opinion. This is not the last time we're going to hear of Ron DeSantis because of the way that he came in, overtook things, made positive change, and the people of Florida love him. And because of that, the people of the United States started to like him. But he's just not there yet. And we saw when he debated that he forgot his balls. I don't know what happened, but he was just so easily mentally persuaded. And I don't know if anybody else saw that, but I just saw that he wasn't the man that we thought he was. And maybe he'll get there someday, or he could go in the complete opposite direction and become a horrible person. I don't know. But I really had faith in him, and I liked him. But Trump is the only way to go at this point, and I really do feel like he's the best candidate for the position, the best person for the position. And I think that the assassination, I think that was a pivotal moment for him. I really do believe that was an epiphany for him. Him getting shot, almost losing his life. I think that when he showed up to the RNC, what was that, the day after, 2 days after, the sympathy and the emotion behind him was so sincere. And you cannot fake something like that. When you go through traumatic stuff like that, it is life-altering. It's absolutely life-altering. And I really do think that this assassination on his life changed him for the better. As fucked up as that is. I think that it changed him for the better. You could just see something in him that switched. It was like a whole different person. The raw emotion, you could see the realization on his face that it was a miracle that he was standing there in the RNC. I could see that on his face. I'm literally getting chill bumps talking about this. Because, I've been through traumatic stuff like that. And, I ain't been shot. But trauma is trauma. And when you go through pivotal moments in your life like that, where you're like, damn, I should be dead. Whoa. I've died. I've died several times. So, to be dead and then to wake up, it's like, whoa. Whew. Lord, really? I was dead? For how long? Like, that's a pretty pivotal moment, you know? And a normal person would say, whoa, why did God present me with this opportunity? A drug addict is going to say, motherfucker, they hit me with they hit me with neproforin. What is it? Buprenorphine. Fuck, they hit me with naloxone. You get so mad. If you OD on heroin, they're going to hit you with naloxone. I can't say it. Buprenorphine. You know what? I might need to learn how to enunciate that word. It's pretty imperative. Seeing how my channel is geared towards recovery. Buprenorphine. If you are on heroin, when they shoot you with that stuff up your nose to save your life, it goes and sets on the receptors of your brain, and it brings you back to life. The opiate blocker in it is what saves your life. And that is naloxone. I can't say it. It's naloxone by itself. And the two main ingredients in the medication that I take every day is naloxone and buprenorphine. The naloxone is what they shoot up people's nose to resuscitate them when they are coming back from a heroin overdose. And when they hit you with it, when you're in active addiction, it pisses you off. Because all that money you spent to get high is now wasted. You would absolutely rather die than waste that money. Ain't that sad? So sad. Bruh. I am so glad I don't have to deal with that shit no more. But, oh man. They think they're doing you a favor. And they are. They're saving your life, okay? But when I tell you, you wake up angry. Because you're in full-blown withdrawals. It sends you into full-blown withdrawals. You are throwing up. You gotta shit. You sweating, you want to die. It is the worst feeling in the world. Feels like bugs are crawling all over you. And when they hit you with that naloxone to bring you back to life after you're dead, it literally sends you into full-blown withdrawals. So you're pissed. Okay? What emergency workers and first responders have to deal with when it comes to the fentanyl crisis in America every day, I gotta commend them, because there's several workers that could have punched me in the mouth, and they didn't. And I appreciate that. But, they're out here trying to save people's lives, and then these people come up out of a drug-induced state ready to fucking scrapple with these first responders. Because they're mad that they tried to save their life. It's crazy. It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy. But, yeah, so I was probably trying to kill myself, and when I died and they woke me back up, it was pivotal moments for me. And I remember saying to myself, I want to get clean, but having the access to do that and the money to get out of there was a whole nother thing. And moving into my car to get out of there was definitely a pivotal moment for me, because it was either I was going to stay and allow these people to continue to abuse me. And to do that, I have to have drugs. Okay, I'm just being honest. And it came a point where it's like, well, is my desire to stay clean or my desire, for a home more important? So we see what was more important. Obviously, my sobriety. And that will always be number one, because I have to focus on that before anything else. If I don't focus on that and cracks start to show, those cracks can emit people into my life that can get me back out there where I was before I got clean 4 years ago. I'm no idiot to how it works. People, places, and things are most definitely what keep you clean. Staying away from it. If anybody even mentions anything about drugs, please just run the fucking other way. That's what I do. When this guy come and approached me today, said he was here to change my oil and fill my gas tank up, one of the first things out of his mouth was that he was in recovery too. Okay, great. Good for you. Glad for you. But who are you again? The manipulation that I'm starting to remember now is I'm starting to put two and two together. First of all, the reason that he stood out to me when he pulled into Planet Fitness parking lot was because he was in a white work truck with a bull bar on the front. And when I was on live and I saw him, I thought, man, that's weird. What is he doing here? Number one, you do not see a lot of blue collar workers at Planet Fitness. You just don't. He stuck out to me for some reason. And now when I look back, it's like God was shining a light. Like, warning, bitch, warning. But I was on live with you guys and I wasn't paying attention. And as I said, I almost flipped my phone around to show you him. And I regret more than ever now that I didn't. And the next time I get a hankering to flip my phone around, I'm going to do it. The reason that I didn't was because I didn't want to point him out to be some pervert, even though that's exactly how I felt when he pulled up right in front of me staring at me. I didn't want to be like, oh my God, some random guy staring at me, look, and, you know, come off the wrong way, even though that's absolutely what he was doing. So, imagine my surprise when I get off of live. I'm in the back seat getting my stuff together to get in the gym, and he knocks on my window. And, you know, now that I think about the bigger picture, he was trying to sell himself to me. He absolutely was. One of the first things out of his mouth was, I'm in recovery and my friend's in recovery too. Why is that important in this moment? Like, he was trying to sell himself to me. Do you get it? He was trying to tell me, like, oh, I'm relatable. You can relate to me, to try to make me feel safe. He absolutely could have killed me. And I really think that it's starting to hit me now how severe that it could have been. And I think that when it first happened, I was trying to be cool about the situation. I didn't want to admit it to myself that he could have just snuffed the fucking life out of me. But if I'm being honest, he could have snuffed the life out of me. These are strangers. There are weirdos out here on the internet that fucking simp. Okay? And I'm not even that cute, but I'm here to tell you that I've met some fucking simps in my life. One of them I had to threaten with a gun. I told that son of a bitch, if he ever come back to my house, I was firing. Like, I wasn't playing. I never saw him again. He kept coming back to my house. And he knew he would say that he was looking for my abuser. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was looking for any little interaction with me at all. A hello, a goodbye. Any of that would have sufficed. It would have made him just ecstatic. Any interaction. Some people are so desperate for human connection, they absolutely will go to every Planet Fitness within a 30-mile radius looking for a stranger to prey upon. That is exactly what happened today. No one will convince me otherwise. And you want to know how I know that he went to every single Planet Fitness in the area while I was on live? I was on live for 5 hours. Every single Planet Fitness at Myrtle Beach, if you look up Planet Fitness at Myrtle Beach, there's 6 of them. He could have went to every single one of those Planet Fitnesses several times in the 5 hours I was on live. But I'm going to tell you what he done because I know what he done because he told me what he done without telling me what he done. One of the things that he mentioned was that his friend had told him that I was at Masters trying to get a job. He said that Masters was a shithole, blah, 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 and that he could find me work in construction, blah, 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 blah. But he told me from the beginning that his friend had sent him looking for me. So, how did your friend know how to find me? How did y'all know how to find me? The only way you could have found me is through live, because I said I'm at Planet Fitness. So, I have no doubt that he was watching my live. I have no doubt that he started at the Planet Fitness that is around the corner from the Masters Club, thinking that I would be at that one because it's closer to Masters. But ironically, there's one road in and one road out to the coastal line of this part of Myrtle Beach. And up that one road in and one road out is all of the Planet Fitnesses off to the left and right. I have no doubt that he started at that club near Masters and he worked his way up to where he found me because I was at the very top club in Conway. So now I might have said that I was in Conway. I don't know. Or I might have said earlier in the week that I'd been in the Conway area. I don't know. But this is how easy it is to find someone off of the internet. This is why I'm talking about this, because it's very dangerous and I could have just got kidnapped, raped, and murdered. And I don't think the severity of the situation really hit me earlier because I was trying to be nice because I do want followers, but I don't want followers like this. This is not okay. And I'm already suffering from so many triggers right now. I don't even know how I'm keeping myself fucking mentally afloat. And I got weirdos coming out here saying they want to help me, showing up, trying to, play my heartstrings, like, connect with me. Like, bro, no. And then, the motherfucker asked me, when's the last time you've had a sit-down dinner? Like dangling a fucking carrot in my face. Are you fucking serious right now? People like that are what's wrong with the world. Seriously. He didn't want to fucking help me. If he wanted to help me, he could have cashed out me money. My Cash App is on my fucking page. And you see where I'm still sitting. So it don't look like nobody sent me no Cash App money. He did not want to help me. Anybody that believes that is very naive. And you don't need to be in public because you're not safe alone. You're too naive to be in public if you think that this son of a bitch that hunted for me, okay, all through Myrtle Beach, he literally said, quote, my friend sent me to find you, end quote. He's telling me that he was out here searching for me. That's hunting for me. To me, that's hunting for me. So weird. And he kept talking about his friend was in recovery and he's in recovery and da-da-da-da-da-da. Maybe that's true. But you can't be out here trusting people like that at all. That's how you end up dead. Once again. And when I go through stuff like that, and I think about the bigger picture of actually being stranded out here with this lunatic somewhere hunting me down and me not having the money to get myself out of that situation, when I think about that, and I think about my ex wanting me to move to Virginia with him and my abuser wanting me to live with him and be happy with him, when I think about these situations, being stuck in this situation right now, it just refreshes in my memory why I left. Because this is exactly what life was like when I was with people that said they loved me and, did all of this supposedly financially for me. No. It was a daily struggle even when I had money because it wasn't my money. And they used the money to hurt me. And that's what life with them would be like. For forever. At least out here, I have free will. I have the choice to allow people to touch me or not touch me. I can choose to have self-respect and self-worth out here. I can't have that with them. I'll never be whole allowing somebody to do the things that they did to me. And my abuser had 17 years to help me. 17. And he didn't. And he's never helped anybody. Actually, I was thinking today, all of the girls that he coerced into working for his escort service, they're all dead. The majority of them are dead. The other half are in prison. And that's what quick money and quick life gets you. Jails, institutions, and death. Thanks, Jessica. He lives in Charlotte. Who live in Charlotte? I used to live in Charlotte. My parents are dead. My parents have been dead. Like, my mom passed away when I was 19. She died from cancer. But I was on my own before that. My parents were so abusive that the state actually came in and took me when I was 12. And so I bounced in and out of foster care, groups home, juvenile detention facilities, all of that for 10 years, over that. And then when I was 16, I graduated from high school and moved out and had to move back home with my parents for a little while for something. I don't remember what. I probably couldn't afford rent. I don't know. But my mom got sick with cancer and she ended up passing away. But the stepfather that raised me, he ended up molesting me when I was 16, which was one of the reasons I moved out. I actually initially ran away. I stayed gone for about 8 months before the law caught me. By that time, I had a whole job. I was enrolled in school. I was doing the things that I'd wanted to do my whole life, but nobody would let me. And the law come and pick me up. I got kicked out of school. I lost my job at Panera Bread. My parents said, fuck it, we can't control you. Gee, I wonder why. You stayed with a child molester. You know, I can't be too mad at her, but looking at it from the bigger picture, I don't understand anything that my parents did while raising me. Nothing. Nothing. I've never beat a child. I would never beat a child. I've never beat a child. And my parents beat the hell out of me. And because of that, I don't believe in corporal punishment because of the life that I've lived. And I've always been clear on the fact that children should receive love. Discipline, absolutely, but love. That is what they need more than anything from the very beginning to the moment that you're not there. They need love. And I never received any of that from my parents. My parents were not loving. They were abusive. And it's only been in recent months that I've really started to think about how their upbringing impacted my life and how it made me the person I am today. When you teach a child in diapers to fight, and then you put that child in kindergarten years later, and that kid starts fighting, you can't be surprised when social services shows up on your doorstep. You kind of you put them in an environment. All I can envision is little baby Brooke in a car seat rocking out to NWA with my parents fighting, probably drinking and driving, bitching. Can you just imagine? Because I can imagine it. Little baby Brooke in 1987. Hell, shit, what am I talking about? I wasn't even in a car seat. You know they did not have me in a car seat back then. You know, y'all, I didn't even have a bassinet or a dress. Like, I didn't have a bassinet or a, what is that thing called? Like the little baby rocker, you know, that you put the baby in to sleep, like the playpen. My mama put me in a dresser drawer. My brother, 2 years later, slept in a dresser drawer. When they brought us home from the hospital, they put us in a dresser drawer. So I'm pretty sure that I was probably not in a car seat. But all I can envision is that. I envision me coming home from the hospital and my parents just beating the hell out of each other and fighting all the time. And I know that it was like this because my mother has told me that it was like this before she passed. She ended up getting a divorce from that man, my biological father. But, from all accounts, from all sides of the family, it was very apparent that the first few years of my life, my parents fought and were partying and drinking and smoking weed. And I was neglected, you know, it's just what happened. And I think that things were different back there. I'm not saying it's right because it's absolutely not. I tried to show my parents a little grace, and I try to understand them being so young, having children. But I just can't get past them the way that they would beat us. I can't. And I don't think it's right, and I think that they were wrong for that. Especially teaching me to fight and, you know, rewarding me for having bad behavior. You know, and then by the time social services takes me, then they're like, oh no, that's bad. Don't punch people. Well, shit, you taught me to. You literally sent me outside in a diaper and told me to push that girl off the swing. So I did. Part of me thinks that they didn't know any better because they were so young. I still ain't even drank it. It's called stress. I'm going through a cycle of mania right now, most definitely. Every person that pulls up, I'm like, who is that? I'm fucking terrified of this guy showing back up again. Like, and I can't go but so far because I have no gas. So I'm essentially stuck with a potential stalker. You know, and if he's willing to go from Planet Fitness to Planet Fitness to Planet Fitness to find me, And everybody gives their location. Everybody says, oh, I'm at Miami. Ooh, that doesn't give, y'all are fucked up in the head, first of all. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck if I'm standing on the top of the fucking Empire State Building with both my titties out, whistling the fucking Dixie whatever out my asshole. That does not give you the right to come and approach somebody that's already in a bad situation, offering to be their savior when you want to get your dick wet. Y'all need to shut the fuck up. Y'all really sound really stupid, either underage and not supposed to be here, or borderline and mental retardation. I need to see your IQ, because it has to be less than 70. Like, you are literally out here with one hand in your fucking chin being retarded. Hilarious. I love it. You're giving your location, so they have the right to come stalk you, rape you, and murder you and put you in a ditch. How stupid are y'all? Do y'all not even realize that y'all were the ones that led this country in the fucking ground? Y'all have ran it in the ground. You were the same motherfuckers that we gave control of this country. And now we are bankrupt, all living in poverty because of you motherfuckers. Y'all were the same motherfuckers that are like, oh, well, she had on a short skirt, so she was asking for it. Pathetic. Pathetic. I love it. Keep it coming. This is why I started a channel. She lying for money. I wish, honey. I wish. Oh, look, what do I keep saying? My engine's gonna fucking blow up because I need an oil change. And you know, when you know it, that was the first thing out of that fucking pervert's mouth. My friend, you know, and the fact that he was so defensive when he showed up on fucking site, telling. I am fucking thinking about it now, and I should have been pissed hours ago. See how I'm like dealing with trauma? It doesn't come at once. It literally is a process. I should have been pissed hours ago. Who the fuck was this motherfucker rolling up on me? Lying. Lying. Straight, bold-faced lying. Not one thing he said was true. Well, some of it. He had been looking for me. Remember? His friend sent him to find me. Like, oh, God. I wonder how many Planet Fitnesses he went to. There's 6 in the area. And like I said, I think he went to all of them because they start at the bottom. And then you have to go up a highway, and they're off each side of the highway. The one he found me at was the very last one in the Myrtle Beach area. The very last one. All the way at the top. So, what a weirdo. And no one has the right to come hunt you down and harass you in fucking public and try to coerce you into selling your ass for a tank of gas. And if you think that that's all right, you need to see a therapist, honey. You got more things going on than I can help you with. No one, I don't care, once again, if I'm, whatever I'm doing, you have no right to come find me. None. And the next person that shows up will be leaving on a gurney. I can promise you that. So try me a fucking again, and we'll see on live how that ends up for you. Because I'm going to broadcast the whole motherfucking thing while they're wheeling your ass out of here. I'm not playing anymore. I should have been angry earlier. I'm being too fucking nice. This is my fucking safety. I'm not being nice about it anymore. The motherfucker showed up trying to coerce me into going on a fucking date with him to try to get his dick wet. He had zero intentions of actually helping me because, once again, I had already posted my name on Snapchat, my freaking Cash App name. I don't know this technology stuff, y'all. I had already put that up there. So if he wanted to help me, he could have helped me. He didn't have to come find me and try to ask me out on a date and try to give me his little story to try to, you know, play my heartstrings. Because that's absolutely what he was trying to do. And nobody's going to gaslight me into believing that I deserve to be killed because I said what city I was in. Everybody puts their cities. As a matter of fact, there's girls that do a lot more dangerous shit than I do. I've actually been rather safe. And the last thing I expected was some fucking weirdo to come literally drive to every Planet Fitness to find me. But he had to have. Because one of the things that came out of his mouth was Masters. He kept talking about the Masters Club. So he knew I was going to be there. But he kept saying, oh, I don't watch you. I don't have social media. Bullshit. Bullshit. You know why he said that? Because he's still watching me. He's still watching me. fucking weirdo. You're a weirdo. His friend sent him. Bullshit. I said, well, what's your friend's name? Who is he? Lying ass sack of shit. Absolutely, Rena. He was trying to get a fucking date, and he didn't know how to do it. He knew that if he said it on here, I would ignore it. So he figured he'd shoot his shot and hunt me the fuck down. Absolutely unbelievable. If I shoot his ass in the foot, I'm going to jail. Because that's the law. Bullshit. The law is bullshit. You know what's crazy to me that I got to thinking about? This is going to be a little mean, but I ain't trying to be heartless. But I'm not panhandling. That's tacky. I am not doing that. I'm not getting out here and asking for people for money like that. So, freaking, what I was thinking about when he pulled up. So, like I said, I noticed that he was like in this work truck. And it had all these tools on it. And that was kind of a red flag because you don't see too many blue-collar workers in Planet Fitness. You just don't. And this guy is 3 times my size. First of all, I want to say that. He's 3 times my size. He could grab me with one hand and crush my throat. I just want you to know that. But everything's fine. So, he has on, like, construction clothes or whatever. But I couldn't see him in his truck. I could see he had on a white shirt, and he looked like he was lost in the Planet Fitness parking lot, you know. And I made it, like I said, I almost turned my camera around, but I didn't because I didn't want to come off the wrong way. And here's the thing, you guys. Here's what's creepy. I'm not even that cute, and I deal with motherfucking dudes in my face on a daily basis with ill intent. They all got ill intent. They all up in my fucking business, and I'm not even that cute. Like, I can't imagine if you damn Kylie Jenner status or fucking Jennifer Gardner status what it's like. I couldn't imagine. I'm fucking annoyed on a daily basis. Get out my face. Can I have my motherfucking face back? Please, sir. Like, what are you looking at? But anyways, it was weird that he was parked there, and I almost turned the camera around, but I didn't want to send a bad vibe, and I'm going to start talking about these things. I don't give a fuck that 80% of my followers are fucking male. I don't care. Maybe you can take some notes and not stare too hard next time at that lady that's doing her job, trying to be professional, while you trying to look up her damn skirt. Like, so I almost turned the camera around, but I didn't. I was already in the back seat. I think on live we were packing a bag. I can't remember. We were on there for 5 hours, and my memory is trash from all of the trauma that I'm currently going through. So excuse me. I don't know. All I know is I was in the back seat because I remember having to lean up in the front seat to roll the window down to talk to him. And I'm like, yeah. And he was real defensive at first. He's like, he's got his hands up. He's like, do you do YouTube? I said, sometimes. Why? He says, well, a friend of mine said that you were over here stuck, and he sent me, and he said that you might want an oil change, and I run a mobile service, and da-da-da-da-da-da. First of all, if your friend sent you to do my oil change, why did you show up with no oil? You already knew what kind of truck I drove, and I know this because he told me. He told me what year my truck was. So you already know all of the information that you need to know to get this oil and filter to do this, but you show up without it. The nerve of some people to think that I'm not pretty enough to go find a dick to suck to get an oil change. It couldn't possibly be because I have morals and fucking values and I'm trying to be a decent fucking human. You know, people do a lot of fucking projecting. I'm noticing that on this channel, that a lot of people project because they feel guilty about the behavior that they're implementing in their own lives. It's like when a cheater's cheating, but they accuse you of cheating. Guilty conscience. That guy absolutely was out here trying to get a date or something, or thought that he could use my current situation of being stuck and no food against me to try to... There's the police. Look, you think I'm fucking kidding? Look. There's another one right behind him. Look. I mean, I don't know what to fucking tell him. I'm stuck here. I have no gas to go anywhere, so I'm fucking stuck here. So if you want to take me to jail today for cussing you the fuck out, come on over here. Come on fucking over here. Because I literally have nothing to fucking lose. Literally. Nothing. I'm going to lose my truck anyways because I can't fucking make it to a job. Nowhere to fucking hire me. And then I go somewhere and the fucking police are constantly rolling. And here's the thing. You know, that's the 10th time I've done seen them. I just want to be clear. It's the same two motherfuckers that I done seen 10 fucking times. And I've done moved twice. Like... They know I'm homeless. They don't want me here. Well, guess what, buddy? I'm stuck here because I have no gas to leave. So I don't know what to tell you. If you want to tow my shit and take me to jail, goddamn, add to the list of motherfucking problems I got today. What you want me to do? This is what I'm talking about. Like, what do you want me to do? Where you want me to go, bro? I can't believe I got mixed up with strip club owners and escort owners. Unbelievable. But hey, at least I know better now, right? I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder if I'm blessed with awareness or if this is a fucking curse. Because like I said, I would much rather be able to have no conscience and be able to live like most of the people that I've been exposed to. You know, to tell people that you want to do the right things and then to have them tell you to break the law. Real talk. To break the law and to do grimy things, I mean, that tells you what type of people you're dealing with. So I started exiling people out of my life. If you're going to tell me to go break the law and do illegal stuff, I have no room for you in my life. You're not the type of person I want to be around. And now I'm in this like in-between place where I'm stuck working in these shiesty-ass strip clubs, working for unsavory people who don't respect themselves, much less me. You know? And it sucks. I'm just going in circles. I'm going to lose my truck. And I'm stuck in South Carolina. And honestly, even if I had money to eat, I probably wouldn't be able to eat because of the stress. Yes, I'm sassy. I've always been sassy. Thank Mom. It all came from her. What? I would have actually helped you earlier today. Oh, this was the creep! Y'all, that was the creep! Did you see it? It said Flo. He said, I was actually going to help you today. I just blocked him. That was the fucking creep. Oh my fucking God. It said Flo. I wish I could have screenshotted it. But once I block him, he won't have access to my channel again, I don't think. Did y'all see that? It said, I was actually going to help you today or something. And then it said something about, I don't think you mean well. Something about some kids, for the kids. Anyways, it said I was going to actually help you today, blah, 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 blah. I hope that was him, and I hope that I blocked him. I did block it, but from commenting. Well, it said Flo, so I'm going to keep an eye out for it because I know what his thing looks like. What a weirdo. Like, oh my God. Bro, then I guess you can't read. You're dyslexic and dumb. Good for you. It clearly fucking said Flo with the fucking black thing. It had a black picture and it said FLO in like silver or gold, and it distinctively said, I was going to help you today. I hope that was him. And, you know, a lot of people wonder why I cut them out of my life. It's because of stuff like this. Like, you want me to settle down with you and marry you, but when I need something, you don't want to be there for me. Like, what? Like, whoa, wait a second. That's not a relationship. That's love with conditioning. That's conditions. That's not love. That's an abusive relationship. Love is 50-50, 100-100. You're there for me, I'm there for you. But here's the thing about these types of abusers. They will make it to where you can't financially stand on your own 2 feet, so that you have no way to escape. I've been trying to escape from my abuser for 17 years. I met my boyfriend, who I was with for almost a decade, and I tried to go with him and escape from my abuser, unknowingly falling into the hands of a worse abuser. So now I've been trying to escape both of them. And they absolutely go for girls that have been abused in childhood, girls that have had traumatic events growing up, whether they were beat, whether they were molested, whether they had exposure to drugs. They go for women like this. They absolutely do. And my abuser went for me at 16, 17 years old. 17 was the first time he abused me, but I was younger than that when I initially met him, and he had 17 years to help me. You know, I was a child. He was a 50-something-year-old man, and once again, when I would try to leave, he would take my car. Then I didn't have a car to leave. Anytime I refused to have sex, he would kick me out of the house and starve me out till I had to come crawling back. That is financial abuse. When somebody will not let you work, or if they blackmail you into working, like in my case. The first 10 years, he wouldn't let me work. Then there at the end, he forced me to work. It's like, make up your fucking mind. Specifically strip, which was how I even ended up in a full-time position in it, because he would blackmail me and say that I owed him all of this fucking money that I absolutely don't owe him. He actually owes me hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I will be seeing that money. It might take a while, but it's just unbelievable how I fell into these traps. But once again, I was 16 on my own, so it's not rocket science. My parents were not there for me. My mother was dying. My biological father was in prison for molesting me. My stepfather was a molester. So it makes sense how I fell into this. And I want people to know that you're better than this shit if you're going through anything like this. Anybody that loves you would not put you in the positions that I've currently been put in by anyone, number one. But I knew that, and I've said on this channel before, like, oh, what a piece of shit. Why do I keep dealing with this? Oh, yeah, that's right. I need money to eat. And, you know, a small part of me does love my ex, but not for the reasons that I should. He's not a good person. Any person that opens a strip club, not a good person. I've been finding a whole lot of interesting court documents about his brother up here in Virginia, or up there in Virginia. His brother owns like 5 or 6 clubs in the Virginia area, dating back to the 80s. Very interesting stuff, some of the stuff I found online. I even found one expo from a magazine, the Virginian. It says, and I do quote, Fraser Boyd, the owner of all of the Paper Moons of Springfield and Virginia, quote, it's safe sex. They can come here, party, and go home, end quote. This was written in the Virginian. It says this is safe sex in the Virginia in 1994. It's literally right there. It's right there, written in black and white. And I'll have to show you guys one day because it's very interesting. But He basically says to a news reporter, they were covering the grand opening of one of his new clubs. This is my ex-boyfriend's brother, who my ex bought the club from that we used to run, the strip club. So he bought into his brother's franchise, you know, because he's a moocher. He's never done anything on his own. He's the black sheep of the family that's never done anything with his life except for cocaine and strippers. So think Hunter Biden Jr. 100%. 100%. Oh, God. He claims he's clean now. I don't know. But anyways, this is a news reporter who was interviewing Fraser Boyd when he did the grand opening of this club. And in the article, it states, Mr. Boyd says, quote, "It's safe sex in itself. It's safe sex in itself. You can come here and party and go home. It's safe sex in itself," stating that just coming there and partying, that's not what he was saying at all. He was admitting that that was the spot to fucking do it. And it's clear as day to me, after being in the industry for almost 20 years, it's clear as day to me on the wordplay. And I'm going to show you guys one day because it's very interesting. And, you know, maybe I've been naive. Maybe I've been very naive, you know. I have to wonder if maybe most of these clubs before COVID were actually doing prostitution work. Maybe I was wrong. I just know in my experience, when I've worked all throughout this fucking nation, I have not been hooking up with random people in VIP at these strip clubs. And that has not been my experience with the other women that I got close to in these clubs. They actually were repulsed by the idea, and anyone that came in that attempted to behave in that manner or do any sexual act in VIP would be kicked out. They would be blacklisted. And thanks, Whitney. Oh, Lord, meth. I never liked meth. I liked heroin, you dumbasses. And not fentanyl either, because that's for pussies. I like tar. Get your facts right. People are so stupid. I hate meth. Do I act like I need meth? I'm already jacked up enough on life. What are you talking about? I'm sorry that you're probably old and your testosterone and HGH is dying down and you ain't got no energy no more. I'm sorry. Get you some Somaderm. It really does help. I've been on it for a few weeks now and I noticed a huge difference in my energy. There are healthier ways to get energy other than crack and meth. That's simple-minded. I like my legal drugs. But, and that's a fact because I do smoke marijuana. But, strip clubs. The type of person that you would have to be to want to own a strip club. Very interesting stuff. And then to find out that they go and buy this huge farm and start growing soybeans and having church camp at this farm like a cult in the night. I'm not making this shit up. I swear to God I was making... I sound so crazy right now. First of all, yes, these strip club owners went and bought a bunch of land out in Virginia. It was old Civil War land that the city owned, actually. How they were able to purchase this land from the city and who the fuck they know, I have no clue. But once again, they both have owned strip clubs in the North Carolina and Virginia area for decades. So these people have money. This man has a plane hangar, bro. And a plane, okay? They got money. So this is my ex's brother. So freaking all of a sudden one day he wakes up and he said he's going to give his life to the Lord. Not my ex's brother. Okay, great. That's wonderful. I love that for you. That is, you know, you spent 3 decades making millions off of the exploitation of young girls in vulnerable positions. I mean, by all means, repent and go to heaven. That's his right. He has a right to do that, unfortunately. Do I think he'll get in? I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm going to be in heaven, so I'll let you know on the other side if he made it. We'll see. We'll see. What are the chances that we all meet up in heaven again and have the same exact conversation? And I'm like, see, I told you that motherfucker was going to burn. Well, I won't say it like that. I'll be like, see, I told you so. So he decided that he was going to give his life to the good Lord. He wanted to visit his almighty maker one day, okay, and be able to stay with him. And I understand that. So why not sell your clubs? Why are you still raking in millions off of the exploitation of girls if you gave your life to the Christ? Hey, I kind of like that. If you gave your life to the Christ. Why? I mean, he already has millions. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So it don't make no sense. I'm curious. I need to look up his, when we look at the court documents and the interesting stuff about the strip club, we'll actually look at his net worth too, because I know that it's somewhere near 50 to $100 million. And, yeah. I don't know, dude. I just think different. I think so different. Like, here's my thing. If I had money, we all gonna have money. And if I got $100 million, the least I can do is fucking help somebody help themselves. I don't know. I just think fucking different. And I actually, the amount of times that I've tried to open up my own business when I was with my ex, it was all I would talk about the 6 years we were together. Even when I was on drugs, it's all I talked about was trying to own a business or do something, you know, finish school, do something. And not once did he ever help me try to do that. Quite the opposite. He would help me get drugs and give me more money for drugs. You have to pay attention to people's actions. And, you know, these are good Christian people that are having church cult camp out at their property. You know, I'm sure they're not up to anything nefarious. Bunch of cokeheads with a bunch of land and a bunch of money. What could go wrong? With a church cult as a cover. What could go wrong? I don't know. I'm purely making up shit at this point, obviously. But I'm just saying, they got the land, the money, and the means. I don't know. What are the chances that a strip club owner gives his life to Christ and becomes a soybean farmer and a church missionary? I mean, wouldn't you think that if he was about that life that he would sell his strip clubs? Don't you think that he should sell his strip clubs if he is trying to do the right thing and give his life to Christ? Why are you still profiting off of the downfall of so many fucking others and lining your dirty ass pockets? It just doesn't make sense to me if you're living your life by the way of the Lord. It's like these preachers that live in $1 million houses while their congregation is living in fucking poverty. I dated a guy, and he went to this big fancy church. It's called Elevation. It's out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And they have multiple locations. They have one in Greensboro. They have one, or it might be Winston. Anyways, we went to this church, and I'm going to tell y'all what. I was donating money that I did not have to donate. Okay, they get you in there. They play on your damn heartstrings. They get the congregation going, the music going, you feeling it. They give you the word of Christ. They show you a bunch of baptism fucking videos that are pre-recorded from donations that they received. They were able to baptize all of these people from all of these donations, these millions of dollars that they are absolutely receiving. Hold on. In a 99-cent pool, you get baptized with tap water. 99-cent inflatable pool from the local Dollar General in tap water. And these people are donating millions. But you get baptized in a kiddie pool. Make it make sense. And the preacher, Stephen, I'm coming for him in a video one day. I cannot wait. Oh, I see through him and his wife. They are so fake. So fake. Their marriage is on the rocks. They are so fake. God, what's his name? Steven something, I think. He's got a beard, okay? So fake, you guys. So fake. And I'll have to do a video on them and their $7 million house, okay? 7 million. 7.9 if I'm not mistaken. And that's probably double by now because COVID. But it's really crazy to me how most of the congregation that I saw when I personally went in this church and worshiped with them, it's crazy to me how most of them financially don't look so well to do. But these people are absolutely keeping this church afloat with their donations. And there's not really a lot to show for it. The preacher wasn't even there. We went to church without a preacher. It was a pre-recorded message. And I understand that he has to do that because he has so many locations, da-da-da-da-da-da. But what I'm saying is he's not just playing on one congregation's heartstrings. He's playing on everybody's heartstrings. He's got 3-4 branches open, the internet going, and he's raking in millions from people who are donating their money to the Lord, essentially. And it's a scam. It's an absolute scam. I'm a Christian and I don't believe in the way that the churches are set up. They absolutely should have to pay taxes. They absolutely should be investigated for any lewd freaking acts with children. Think about the Vatican. The Vatican. Let's talk about this for a second because these people are shady as shit. Let me tell you. It's the Catholic Church. If you don't know who the Catholic Church are, Lord, where do we begin? Well, I guess I should start with, they actually have the largest collection of the largest collection of data and information on everything in the world. The Vatican has been collecting evidence and artifacts and everything that you can think of since before Jesus was a boy. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But they literally have so much information that is imperative to hell, our national security in the USA. They have things that we actually want to know. I would love to get in there and just have a month in their archives. Just a month. You can't even get into parts of the archive. You have to have security clearance. So that tells you what type of information right there they're withholding from the public. If you have to have a certain amount of clearance just to get in there. There's no telling what they know. And they have the largest supply of data in the entire world. Like things that are modern mysteries, they have the answers to, and we will never have the answers to. It's like Area 41. We all knew it was fucking there, and that there was aliens there, and that there was ships there, and that happened, but we had no proof of it. And the Vatican is kind of like that. We know they're shady. We know the Catholic Church is shady. We know that they hurt children. But there's nothing that we can do about it. I mean, you know, I don't know. Catholicism, I've thought about converting to Catholicism. When I was in my early 20s, I thought about converting to Catholicism. But there's a whole lot that I don't agree with. And it's really sad that so many people have been affected by a religion that was supposed to help people, and they've absolutely been harmed. So many people. Religion has been used to harm people, and it still is today. And I understand certain people's skepticism when it comes to religion. But for me, if it is not for God, then I have no purpose on this earth. We are a team, and I need Him to be complete. And I tried not believing for about a month last year. And life got harder when I said that I didn't believe in something that in my soul, I know I believe in. It was embedded in me to believe in the Lord. And if it was not for that, I would probably be a horrible person. Circling back to wishing that I had no conscience. My grandmother raised me in the church. And if it was not for that, I probably would not have a conscience. And I absolutely would be out here killing and doing God knows what. So religion has helped me, and I understand that a lot of people grew up in a household where their parents shoved it down their damn throat, and they forced them into, you know, praising the Lord, and that's not right. That's not right at all. And hell, I ain't even been to church in forever, but me and God are closer than ever right now. God is the one that granted me with the strength to get clean. He was the only one that helped me in that time. And he knew that I wanted to be clean. I won't deny that I've been kind of angry at him lately because of my current situation. It's hard to accept the reality of my current situation. Like, I'm so fucking hungry. I literally could eat an elephant. A whole elephant. I can eat a donkey's ass right now. But like I said, even if I had the money to eat, I probably couldn't eat because the stress, not knowing, just sitting here wasting away, wondering when they're going to fucking come take my truck. What are y'all talking about? I am like... Stephen Furtick. Yes, thank you, Whitney. I couldn't remember his name. Let me tell y'all something. I have no doubt that he's been cheating on his wife for years. That they have some kind of open arrangement thing. Listen, you get around enough people in life, you start being able to read people and their relationships. And something's not right with that man and his wife, that preacher and his wife. Now, I saw cracks back in 2021 when I was dating that guy and we were going to church together and stuff. I saw cracks back then. I saw how she puts on a smile, but she's not happy. She's absolutely miserable in that relationship, and I don't care what anybody says. One thing that I know is abuse. And I can look at a relationship and tell when a woman is being abused. And the way that their relationships is so distant, it's like they're together but they're not. And I don't know, you know, when you get that level of success and you have that many people in your congregation, that is the moment that divorce is no longer an option. You're too famous. If you divorce, it's going to kill the congregation. People are going to split up. The money is going to be gone. Key. That's the key, because that's what it's about. But if there is no divorce that's on the table for them, there's no divorce. That's not an option. You know, some Christian families, they would much rather kill their spouse than divorce them. I mean, look at that preacher. Y'all see that preacher? Whoa. Mind blown. So the preacher, his wife, y'all, I don't even know the story. All I know is that this preacher wife's died. She died. She passed away. If somebody knows what story I'm talking about, then the preacher got up there and he was like, yeah, oh no, she committed suicide. She shot herself. She shot herself and there's no way that she could have shot herself. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? There's a preacher, and then he went in front of the congregation and he was saying, yeah, my wife committed suicide. First of all, I don't even think at the time he knew that it was a suicide. If I'm not mistaken, the cops had not told him that it was a suicide, and then he went in front of the congregation saying, yeah, my wife killed herself. I could be wrong, but it's weird. I'll have to look into that for y'all and tell y'all about that case, because it's crazy, because this preacher is telling the congregation that his wife killed herself, and she didn't kill herself. But it was one of those situations that somebody had to die because he was a preacher, and if they split up, it's going to split up the whole church. And that is very common with these pastors and pastors' wives. When they get divorces, it causes a whole ruckus in the church. They split up. Half the church goes here, half the church goes there. But the money, which is what it's all about. I'm not saying all churches. I'm just talking about this one specific church that I can see. The funds that they are making are not going back into the congregation such as it should. This man is sitting over here in an almost $8 million house, and 70% of his congregation is living paycheck to paycheck, giving him tithes. It's not right. But the other preacher that I'm talking about, the wife that supposedly killed herself, the preacher is super sketchy. Come to find out, go figure, they were having extreme marital problems. She was about to leave him. He knew that she was about to leave him. She had a plan to leave him. And then all of a sudden, she shows up dead with a gunshot wound that was almost practically impossible for her to do herself. So it's a very weird case. This took place like a month ago. They've still been doing updates. I'll have to go find some information and tell you guys about it. It's very interesting, but this is like, I've seen so many cases where it's a preacher and his wife, and the preacher just offs the wife. There was another one years ago. It's a Dateline episode. Or no. It's a Crime Watch Daily episode. You can go find it on Crime Watch Daily. Another preacher, the wife ends up dead in the bathtub. She just mysteriously drowned. I'll let you go watch Crime Watch Daily to figure out what happened. But yeah, I'm sure if you type in Crime Watch Daily, pastor kills wife, I mean, it's just very common. And so I'm saying that this woman that he is married to does not seem very happy. She looks to me from the outside that she is stuck in this damn marriage. And once again, there's been rumors in the Charlotte High Point area that he's not very faithful to her. Now, I don't know if that's true. I've never seen it myself, so I can't say. But what I can say is they don't seem like they're doing well. And they are not the type that will get a divorce. You will never see them divorcing. You will see somebody die before somebody divorces. And it's just sad. It really is. It's sad. Honestly, I didn't really ever like him or his preaching. He just, from all outwards appearances, he looks like a jerk. And he kind of is. Like, I can see it. But that's because I see through him. I know his type. I know what type of person that he is. I can see it in the way that he teaches the Bible. And not only does he teach the Bible completely wrong, and yes, there's a wrong way to teach the Bible. Absolutely. You can spread false messages. Absolutely. And he is a victim of that repeatedly. He is not the type of preacher that thinks about what he's saying before he says it to his congregation. He just puts it on out there. And I'm talking about some sexual shit too, about his own wife. This is a preacher talking sexually about his wife in front of a congregation of people that he wants to respect him and his wife. I don't know. Call me old-fashioned. That's not what I go to church for. It's not what I go to church for. And, you know, there's other creators, ironically, that have brought forth these videos and analyzed them thoroughly. And they give great commentary with it. So you can go search this pastor's name at Elevation Church. And you can find these videos of other creators breaking down how not so good this guy is. But let's not forget, he's sitting in an almost $8 million mansion. And best believe he has multiple properties. That's not his only house. It can't be. Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. Yeah, you know his ass has got another house. Hell, they probably got a vacation house somewhere in Florida. Lucky them. I definitely want to talk more about these mega churches and stuff, because that shit fires me up. It's so wrong to play off of people's heartstrings. So wrong. Yeah, me too, Lynn. Especially with that guy sneaking up on me today. I think when it initially happened, I was kind of like surprised that anybody kind of cared, first of all. Second of all, he seemed kind of harmless. And I'm a nice person, and I understand that guys are lonely better than anybody. I've dealt with them for 17 years. So I understand the male perspective, but I'm just here to say that that's not right. You don't run up on people you don't know. And I have no doubt that he wants a girlfriend, and he thought that I would go on a date with him, and that, you know, we'd move in together and be happily ever after. And I'm just sorry that I can't be what all of these men want me to be. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry. The last two people I handed my forever to pretty much ruined my life. They helped me, assist me in ruining my own life. And the man that I'm going to marry is not going to be making me broken promises in a fucking Planet Fitness parking lot. There's going to come a point in your life where you should really say to yourself, does this relationship benefit me? And if it doesn't, you need to throw it away. Sorry, not sorry. There's only so much kindness that you can give out before you just don't have anything left. If you give every little piece of yourself to every fucking body, there's going to be nothing left to give to the person that you're actually fucking meant to be with. And I've given too much of myself, my soul, Everything. I've given my all to every person that I've ever been with, and every single person has led me down a wrong path and or abused me along the way. Whether it was financial or physical or emotional, it's still abuse, and it's not right. And I'm not saying that I was an angel, because I haven't been. I am mean. If you think for a minute that I ain't mean, then you're really naive, because I got a fucking tongue on me that hurts. Can hurt. And it cuts, okay? And I know that. And so I have not been perfect. At all. You know, but for a long time there at the end, my mouth was the only way that I could fight back. It was my only power, was speaking truth. Saying, this is abuse. You're abusive. Your ex killed herself because of the abuse that you're currently putting me through. Was the loss of her not enough for you to change? For me. So I can be, some might say, abusive. Because that's mean to say, even though it's the fucking truth. I mean, this girl was so happy to be with him, she killed herself. She took herself away from her kids. She hung herself in $1 million luxury house because of how trapped she felt. I know how trapped she felt. We've lived the same relationship, the same life with the same man in the same house. I know what she lived, and I know why she took her own life. She felt like there was no way out. And that's sad. And I felt like that for years. And I got out. And I almost fell back into it on July 4th. I almost fell right back in where I fell off with this person. And, you know, I couldn't for the life of me figure out why I felt so bad, why I was so anxious, why I'm so amped up, why I'm, like, stressed, you know. And it's because my body was having a visceral reaction. My body was warning me. You know this person's not good. You know this person's not trustworthy. This person lies to you. This person leaves you stranded. This person puts you in positions that you can't get yourself out of just to watch you suffer. And then they swoop in a week later trying to pick up the fucking pieces and be there for you. I knew who I was dealing with before I started dealing with him this time. You know, some people are incapable of taking responsibility for their actions, and I'm learning that when I meet these people to immediately run, just fucking take off, booking it, baby, not even exaggerating. It's that severe. Run from people that can't admit when they've been wrong and they've did wrong. All I've ever said is how much I've fucked up in life. How I wish I would have did this different. How I have this regret. How I'm going to do this different next time. How I have to focus on more patience. How I have to focus on more accountability. But being that type of person that holds themselves accountable, that takes responsibility for their actions, that has empathy and understanding, that's what's attractive to a narcissist. Literally, if you put in what type of person, if you put in BPD, what type of person is someone with BPD attracted to, it literally says narcissist. Narcissists are attracted to people with high levels of empathy and understanding. It's crazy. So the most sweetest, innocent people get with narcissists. So, I mean, it's just crazy to think about all of these sweet, vulnerable people out here getting abused by the worst. You get one of the best people on earth with one of the worst people on earth in a relationship. And it's so common. And, you know, he used to antagonize me and, like, kick me out of the house just to get a reaction out of me. Don't be with anybody that does shit just to get a reaction out of you. That's child's play. That is a childish relationship that you don't need in your life. Anyone that does something just to get a rile out of you or a reaction out of you, that person is not trustworthy. That person will put you in bad situations. That person will put you in bad situations. You know, when that dude rolled up on me today and he was like, oh, my friend sent you. At first, I really thought that he was like some dude from AA or something. Maybe some guy that, because he initially started with his friend from AA sent him. Or no, he said, my friend is a recovering alcoholic and saw your thing and sent me over here to find you and help you. And I really, for a minute, was naive and thought that he, like, was maybe from, like, Alcoholics Anonymous or something. I don't fucking know. Like, it was so baffling. I'm just like, what? And then finally, the more he talked, the more he was revealing to me. And I'm like, this is a setup. This guy literally came here to just meet me. He just came here just to have an interaction with me, meet me, talk to me, see me. That was it. And he was absolutely hoping that I would go to dinner with him. Sucks. You know, when you have an actual picture of your face with your name, like me, I'll listen. When you ain't hiding behind a fake screen name with a fake anime picture, I'll listen. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, OMIYTYAR Amidiyari. I'm probably not saying it right. He said, y'all so worried about if she's on drugs or not. You know, here's the thing though. Some people who lack motivation in life, that don't get up every morning and go to the gym, that don't try to eat right, that, you know, people that just, they waste their life away behind a keyboard watching everybody else's life. They can't fathom the, you know, my life. They're gonna assume I'm on drugs because I'm high anxiety or whatever. But you know, they're gonna assume that I'm on drugs because I have high anxiety and I'm going through trauma and I'm triggered, obviously. It's symptoms of CPTSD, but because they live such a basic, boring life, they can't picture my life or what I do. So I have to be doing drugs because they're so simple-minded that they can't picture anyone actually getting up every morning and striving to do better, living a normal life, going to work, going to interviews. So, you know, it's exactly what it is. It always has to be drugs because everybody out here is on drugs. I literally had this one guy today leave like 4 freaking comments on like 4 different posts. And when I went to look at his picture, y'all, I see drugs every day on here. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. He looked like Schmeagol from fucking Lord of the Rings, and it was a real life picture. It was a real life picture, and he looked like Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings. Obviously, methamphetamine. He done found me and started watching all of my videos, and every single one leaving a comment, and I was like, hell no, not today. This is not what I want here to see here. I wonder if that was the real Bass Pro Shop. Ah, I wonder if that was the real Bass Pro Shop. Y'all know it wasn't. The 12 steps are literally trash. Why do you say that? I don't think so. I think the 12 steps are important, especially that one where you go and make amends to all the people that you've hurt. I tried doing that. Funny story. The people that I tried to make amends with were too stupid to even realize that we needed to make amends. They didn't feel like they'd ever done anything wrong to me. It's crazy how that happens, and that's why I post so much stuff where they talk about psychology, and you get clean, and you get your life in order, and you get your house in order, how everybody's going to start coming for your throat because they're jealous. Even if they don't do drugs, they still going to be jealous of your sobriety because you're trying, and they're not. And the 12 steps is really important with holding addicts accountable. And it is a great tool for people who are entering into recovery. And I don't think that anyone should be discouraged from going to Alcoholics Anonymous or NA, because it can be a great environment if you use it like you're supposed to use it. It helped me get clean. I did my 90 and 90 by myself, crying every single meeting. I went in there and I couldn't even, I'd be like, hey, I'm Brooke. Ah! Like literally every time for weeks. It would be like I would want to share, but I couldn't even get the words out because of everything that I'd been through. It was almost 20 years of holding everything in, not telling everybody secrets because I was scared that they'd starve me out. But they were going to starve me out anyways because I refused to have sex with them. I refused to continue to harm my body because it's not healthy. It's vile. It is not attractive. Like, not my body. I'm talking about like the actual act. It is not cute. And it's sad that I, as a 16, 17-year-old child, felt like I had to allow this person to do this to me just to eat. Just to eat. And you know, no amount of evidence will ever convince a fool. Going to these people and bringing the long list of women that they have harmed, whose lives and children and grandchildren now that they have affected, you could go to these two men, take them a list of women that they have harmed, and they still couldn't see the problem with any of their actions. But also, you could take a list of people that they've helped, and there would be nobody on either one of their list. They've never helped anyone. They think in their mind they have. But you tell me how giving a girl money for dope helps her. And matter of fact, not just giving her money for dope, but actually giving her the dope and getting her strung out on it, and then coercing her and forcing her into sex trafficking so you can profit off of it. It's evil. It's vile. It's the bottom of the fucking barrel. They both deserve fucking prison, like Epstein. Both of them. Thank you, New Vision Media. You know, and as I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, there's a girl that's about to get out of prison. Her name is Faith. And she is like 38, 41. She's a little bit older than me. And she's one of my abuser's victims. She was coerced and sex trafficked, and she was around the same age as me when he met her, but years prior to meeting me. And she's been clean for years. She's been in prison for years, so she's been clean. Well, that doesn't always mean that you're clean. You can get drugs in prison too. But she's about to get out, and she might be out now. And she's fallen right back into the same trap that he set for me when I got out of prison in 2012, and I fell for it. And he strung his web, and he got his claws in me, and he prevented me from having a normal life. I've never had a normal life because I allowed this person into my life. And this girl is probably going to end back up on drugs. And there's a good chance that she'll die. All so he can get his you-know-what wet. all these dudes had, like, both of them have the same attitude that she's going to do it anyways. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the fucking case. If somebody would have allowed me to go to my military recruitment when I was 17 and I took the fucking test, I would have absolutely joined the military. My abuser prevented me from doing that. So if I don't have a car and you're not going to take me, then how am I going to get there? And that's absolutely what took place. And weeks later, months later is when the abuse started. You know, I had to pay up. I owed for staying in his house and eating his food. God, what a sick pervert. But I look back and I know that I was making good enough grades. I graduated at 16. I had a scholarship. I know that I was making good enough grades. If I would have had someone in my life to help me pick out a major and pick out these things that my parents knew nothing about. I remember when I applied for college, my mother was like, I don't know. I'd be like, well, what do I do in this major? What does this major mean that I can do for work? My mother was like, I don't know. You think she bothered going and looking on the World Wide Web to help me? Hell no. So I'm like, well, so I guess I'll go to school for communications. And I didn't even know what the hell it was for. I look back at shit like that and I'm like, if I would have had someone in my life to guide me, I don't know, maybe my parents, my stepfather who raised me, who's a child molester, maybe if I would have had somebody in my life to guide me in the right direction, I would have went in that direction and actually done something. And it's crazy how I can look back and see that I wanted to, that I had all intention to, but I was prevented from doing that. That makes me a kidnap victim. And I'm tired of being gaslit by all my other abusers that I wasn't kidnapped. I absolutely was. And he prevented me from having a normal life for almost 2 decades, 2 solid decades. I haven't been able to have a relationship. I haven't been able to have anything meaningful because this person was in my life. And anytime I would try to leave, he would take my car or try to kick me out or sue me. That's my favorite. He's done sued me like 3 times. Don't let that deter you from thinking that he hates me, though. Because I can go back right now. Sure can. Sure could. Go back and be like, please let me come home. Fuck that. I will never do that again. I will literally be walking down the road with my property in hand before I ever go back to that man. Either one of them. And once again, I never dated my abuser. He was a family member in my eyes. But, yeah, I'm not going back to that. Oh, Lord, here comes the police again. Oh, Mr. Popo, what are you doing? That might not be the Popo. I don't think that's the Popo. I don't know. We'll see, Roxy, if he does. Like I said, I'm not thinking twice. I'm just going to start firing. That's all I can do. Something. Mace that son of a bitch in the throat. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, I don't think the actual realization of what took place really hit me until this afternoon. That is pretty fucking severe. The fact that he just rolls up on me trying to, it's just so weird. So weird, man. Like, I thought that it might happen eventually, but I didn't think that it would happen like that. You know, like I figured somebody would come up to me and be like, hey, sorry you're going through it. I've been praying for you. It's nice to meet you. I thought it would be more like that. You know, I didn't expect it to be, hey, my friend told me to come over here and change your oil. And so I've been hunting for you and, or I've been looking for you. That's what he said. I'm like, you know, here's how I know he was watching my live. Because he pulled up while I was on live with you guys. And I talked to y'all for a good 10 or 15 minutes before he rolled up on me. So he was sitting there watching me on live as I was filming it in real life and on his phone. And then when I got off of live, immediately after, that's when he come over and knocked on the window. So, like, you have to listen. Life is about taking bits of evidence, information, and putting them together to make the bigger picture. That son of a bitch absolutely had been following me on here. Absolutely had been following me on here and saw that I was in the area, and I probably mentioned that I was at Planet Fitness, and he thought he was just going to roll up and get a date. Or, you know, maybe I'm being too kind. Maybe he thought that he was going to roll up. He was going to buy me dinner, and I was just going to plaster my pussy out there. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. I'm being too kind. Maybe he didn't want a date. Maybe he just wanted to ask. More than likely, he thought that I was going to be willing to suck his dick. And, you know, here's another thing. He might be one of the people that are too stupid to realize that my mania stems from trauma. And he might have thought that I was some drug addict that would suck his dick for money. I don't know. I never thought about that. Maybe that's it. Maybe he thought that I was like actually on drugs or something and thought he was going to show up and I was going to bend over backwards to do whatever he wanted for a hot meal. Like, the fact that he said, so when's the last time you had a sit-down meal? Motherfucker, who the fuck do you think you are? I've been places that you will never go. I've seen things and experienced things you will never experience. But here you are in my fucking face asking me when the last time I've had a hot meal. Like, fuck you, first of all. The audacity for you to show up stalking me. Sir, you should be on a watch list. And then you're going to talk shit to me about my circumstances? When you have no idea. When people like you are the exact reason that I'm in this circumstance. Bruh. I should have fucking shot that motherfucker in the foot. Point blank, period. I should have said, who sent you? And when he started on his fucking sob story, I should have just laid around in his fucking foot. I'm being too nice. This is my fucking life. I have to protect myself. I literally have no one to help do that. I'm being too nice. And I think that the first couple of times that I talked to you guys, I was so freaked out that I was still acting cool about the situation because I was still in the area and I was scared to tell y'all how I really felt because I didn't know where the motherfucker was. And I still don't. And hell, now he's probably mad that I'm fucking telling the truth. Once again, another motherfucker that does shit and can't take responsibility for their actions, but in the end gets mad at me for telling the truth. He's probably sitting behind this fucking computer right now seething. That fucking bitch. I was trying to help you. No, you were trying to prey on somebody who's already vulnerable out here by their fucking selves. You fucking pervert. Stop. And once again, who comes help somebody? Who comes to help someone change their oil and give them some gas without oil and gas? You said you was looking for me to fill my gas tank up and to change my oil, but you show up with no fucking oil and no gas. I'm sorry. Is it gonna fall out of the fucking sky? Like, make it make sense. You know what? Because he was fucking lying. He was lying. He came here to look for a fucking date. He was lying. I hope so. I hope I look like a dude. Maybe that'll be a good defense mechanism for all these weirdos coming at me out the fucking woodworks. I hope so. But yeah, I'm definitely scared and stressed out about this whole situation. I've done cussed my ex out like 5 times, told him how I really felt. Because here's the thing. This is exactly why I didn't want to move in with it. This, you know, when he called the cops on me back in freaking on the 4th, that showed you a lot of his character. You know, he invited me out there. And then when I had a panic attack about being around his fake ass fucking church cult family, then he wants to fucking call the law on me and make me leave. You invited me, sir, to a whole nother state. I get there. You force me to do 4th of July with your family. And then you call the law on me to get me to leave because I won't behave the way that you want. So I think that that showed you a lot about the type of person that I'm dealing with and that I've had to deal with to eat. And I told him, I said, you and Randy are both abusers. What type of men open up strip clubs and escort service? Y'all are both horrible humans. Y'all are going to burn in hell for all of the people you've hurt. You are literally the epitome of, you're the poster child for how to go to hell. You're the poster child for how to go to hell. If you think for a minute that sitting there with your cult-ass, church-ass family is going to save your soul, you're mistaken. You are still actively hurting people. Y'all still own all of these clubs that y'all don't even know anything about, apparently. When I asked about a job there as a bartender or something, he says, oh yeah, we don't know about what's going on over there anymore. So they own these clubs, but they don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about the girls working in there. They don't care about the conditions of the club. They don't care about nothing. But they're still making millions a year off of them, and we'll dig into that one day. I want to know exactly how much these motherfuckers have, because I dealt with him for 10 years, and I never gained a penny off of the relationship. And it's crazy to think about that I lived with somebody who gave me, you know, upwards of $300 a day for heroin, and you know, now I need $80 for gas or $90 to pay my phone bill, because my phone bill is going to be cut. My phone's going to be cut off tomorrow, and I'm not going to have a phone, which means that even if I wanted to leave, I wouldn't be able to, because I don't have a phone. So even if I had gas to get out of here, I'm not going to have a phone to get out of here. So either way, I'm fucked. I'm stuck here. But, you know, it's crazy to me that he would give me $300 a day for heroin to put needles in my arms to control me and manipulate me. Oh, Lord, y'all, I got somebody in a Chevy rolling up on me. Y'all. Bro. What the fuck? Why does everybody gotta be weird today? This motherfucker just went to pull out, and then he does the loop-de-loop and backs in, and I thought that he was fucking rolling up to block me. God damn, my anxiety, dude. I thought he was pulling up to block me, because he was like right there behind me. Those cops that have been going by, I might stop and talk to them before I try to find somewhere to sleep. There he goes again. I mean, maybe they just circle the fucking block looking for people to lock up because it's a really small town. I don't know. But I probably need to talk to them and at least explain the situation. Like, I don't mean to be a nuisance and be stuck here, but I'm literally stuck here. How about this? How about somebody send me money for a drug test and I'll go piss in a cup. I'll go buy one and show y'all that I'm fucking clean. I'm so sick of fucking hearing it. I've already done this on here. If you don't know what trauma symptoms look like, then maybe you're too young or too stupid to be on this channel. I am currently going through trauma, mania. It's called mania. It stems from CPTSD. It comes from constantly being put through traumatic situations, such as random fucking strangers hunting me down off the goddamn internet, showing up, offering me money for sex. That's traumatic. So excuse me that you're too stupid to know what it looks like. But if somebody wants to send me the money for a drug test, I'll go piss right now. But nobody's going to do that because you're a bitch behind a screen name with no fucking life. I talk to the cops all the time. I actually hunt them down and wave at them because they think that they're slick. When I go to like the seedier parts of town, they think that I'm over there buying drugs because I used to buy drugs over 10 years ago. And freaking, that was the last time I was caught with drugs, was almost 10 years ago. And because of that, they absolutely harass me because of that, because it shows up when you run my tags. So even though it was 10 years ago, people don't change. And I understand the skepticism behind people believing that I'm clean because I'm so fucking high strung. But once again, let me remind you, I was on heroin. I was never into meth, cocaine, or any uppers. I already have that naturally. Hence why I was into heroin. Hence why I like marijuana. So I can chill the fuck out. Could you imagine living like this every day? The stress of knowing that everybody around you is fucking fake and phony? If you don't, you should. Because I'm here to tell you the majority of fucking people are shady as shit. They don't have your best interest at heart. And they want you to fucking fail. But let me remind you that I take prescription drugs from a doctor that I have to pay for, that in order to get these drugs, I have to pass a drug test for. So, don't forget, okay? Don't forget. I've been on this medication for 4 years, and I have to take a drug test in order to get it. If I don't, then I don't get it, and I'm sick. So, yeah. Just a little piece of information for those that think that I'm on drugs. It's just unbelievable how naive people are, but that's one of the reasons I opened this channel. I really got clean, and I'm like, people cannot be this stupid. I was only on drugs for 15 years. When did they get this stupid? When? When did everybody wake up and agree that they was all going to act stupid? Because I missed the damn memo. But it really has been like that. It's like I got clean, and I realized that the world is in a complete down nose spiral. And people call me crazy, but I'm the only one out here making fucking sense at this point. Everybody I see is in polyamorous relationships, cutting their penises off and sending their children to go get babysitted by sex offenders. So, excuse me, who's crazy here? Who's crazy here? Voting for a president that can't stand or speak? I'm sorry, I didn't vote for him. I was on drugs then. Okay? So, who exactly is the problem in this scenario? Because I woke up and y'all done got me into a whole bunch of shit, and I have to open up a whole damn channel to get people to open up their fucking eyes. It's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy to think in 2024 that we would be here. I remember when 9/11 happened and how traumatic that was. But I remember how when I was in middle school in 8th grade that year, how we dreamed about the future. How we thought that there would be flying cars, and how we thought that shit, there'd be damn telepathy or something, or that you could, I don't know. We just thought crazy shit back then. And to think that we would get to a point where everything in this world is in decline is really crazy. I didn't think that this is where we would be when I was that little girl in middle school. I really didn't. I thought that we would be so much further than where we're at. And I really did not expect for the world, people, morally, to be where they're at right now. People have completely fallen away from God. They've completely forgotten why we're here, what the mission is. The mission is free will. The mission is to get to heaven. The mission is to do the right things and be a good fucking person and spread kindness. That's the mission. We have free will. That's the mission, to be a good person. So if you've forgotten today what your mission is on this earth as a Christian is, it's to be a good person, plain and simple. But I'm crazy. I'm not out here treating everybody like crap. I'm sorry. I'm not out here hunting people down off the internet that I don't know. At all. At all. Like I said, I have shame. A lot of people don't have shame, man. This boy had no shame. He was not, he gave no fucks. He said, I'm going in for my shot, and I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to lie like hell, but I'm going to try. I can't believe how calm I've been. Once again, I wonder how much of it is shock. I'm so hot. It's so sticky. It's been raining here on and off all day. And freaking, it's so hot. I'm 36. Soon to be, well, it'll be December, 37. I know it's crazy, right? Because I don't look it. It's absolutely wild. I don't know how I got lucky. The only thing that I can say is that when I was on drugs, I drank a lot of water. But not only that, I tried to take care of myself. You know, when people have this vision of what drug use looks like, they think that people are out in the streets running around like Schmeagol looking for crack. And that's absolutely not what it is. I mean, I think everybody has their own path that they take. But, you know, when I was on drugs, I still took a bath. I still ate, you know, as much as possible. The only times that I went through food insecurities was when I was being abused by by my ex or my abuser. Like I said, they would starve me out. Like this exact situation. Like they would send me somewhere and then I would get there and something would go wrong and I need money to get home, or I wouldn't do what they wanted me to do. And, once again, I was never allowed to work at times unless it was convenient for them. My ex-boyfriend, he never let me work. But anyways, when you don't have any money coming in and you don't have any money, like you have to be relying upon them, and they know that, and that's what they wanted. And then when it comes down to it, when I think about it, I was never taken care of. But I always took care of myself. I showered. I've always been into fitness and sports. So I've taken care of myself over the years. Now, I didn't work out like a full-fledged 5-day-a-week workout program until the past like 15 months, maybe 16 months. I started working out every day. I lost 70 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life. And that was a quick process when I think about it now. I just got so big that I was having health problems, and I knew that I was going to have to do something about it. And so I did. Walking led to running, and running led to working out, lifting, and I'm grateful that I made those changes because I feel so better, not only mentally, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's like, I feel like it was like one of the things that was holding me back was the weight gain and like my health conditions and the way that I was feeling about myself and the depression that I would go into. And I'm glad that I took care of that. I'm glad that I got myself back on track, got in the gym, and took care of it. And a lot of people, like I said, treated me funny after that. A lot of people are jealous of somebody that takes the initiative, man. A lot of people are lacking the initiative. I got more initiative than I know what to damn do with. And I got people that are trying to prevent me from taking the initiative because they just want to have power and control over my life. Men that own these types of establishments, strip clubs, places, escort services, men like that, they survive on power, control, and sex. That is it. That is what they run on. You have to be wired some type of way to go out of your way to open up one of these establishments. You have to really have some kind of pervert trait that is driving you to get in that sort of industry. You want access to young girls when you enter that type of industry. And so these are some weirdos. Weirdos. Plain and simple. I got mixed up with weirdos at a very young age that I shouldn't have been rolling with. And I've tried for 20 years to escape. Every time I have to go crawling back. And I'm not going back this time. I was saving face and kissing a little bit of ass to get to where I needed to be to find a job. But at this point, like I said, I done cussed that son of a bitch to high heavens. Because, and like I said, I can't be too mad because he's done this before and this is what he does. This is the way that he abuses. He puts me in situations and then he's like, oh yeah, I'll help you out. You don't have to worry about that. I'll take care of it. And then because he's mad that I won't move in with him, he's like, ha, I got you, bitch. I'm gonna hurt you now. And then, like I said, he'll pop up out of the woodworks in a week and apologize and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I had something going on. No, he won't even do that. He won't apologize. He's never apologized. He's never wrong. Once again, someone who can't take responsibility for their actions, he'll say that. He'll be like, oh, I just wanted to check on you. I still love you. I wish you'd come here. Fuck you. Fuck you. If I knew that he was going to leave me stranded down here, I would have took the $200 and actually stayed in my state and found a club there. Like, I wouldn't have fucking, but once again, he's in my ear saying, go try Myrtle Beach. You'll do good there. And he only said that because I had done cussed him out several times telling him to stop controlling me. I was like, you don't want me to work, but you're not going to pay my bills. You're going to leave me hungry half the time with no money, but you won't let me work. And I said this to him. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, well, if you want to go work, go work. Bullshit. Bullshit. I do take lots of responsibility. You haven't been here long enough. I'm sorry. Maybe you need to go back and look at some of my old videos. Today is not the day to be running your mouth, sir. If you have a problem with it, you can eat shit or die. I don't care. Pick one. It's up to you. I don't give a fuck. You don't know me. You don't know me. Just remember that. You're on my channel running your mouth to somebody that you don't know. On my channel. Keywords. That's what I said. I would rather die than sell my soul to people that don't respect me. You know, these are the type of people that don't have respect for themselves. Hell, half the people in this comment section don't have. I can't donate plasma. I already went to try to donate blood. They wouldn't take my ID. They said because I'm from North Carolina. So I don't know. The blood people, it's a red little swirly thing. I don't know. I set up the information at the blood drive. I made an appointment yesterday at 2:45. I got there. I showed them my ID, and they told me that they couldn't take it because I was an out-of-state resident. So I don't know. It's like this. That's exactly what a job interview is like for me. I drive an hour to a job interview. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm the one that you talked to on the phone. They're like, yeah, come on in. Bad fucking attitude from the time I get there. Then we discuss pay. Then they ask me if I'm a felon, and I say, yeah. And they're like, oh, well, I can't do anything. Sorry. When I told them on the fucking phone before I drove an hour out there that I was a felon. So I wasted $60 in gas going to a job interview that was worthless. And I've done that. I've done that hundreds of times in the past year. Hundreds. Job interview after job interview after job interview after job interview. I did 8 between Monday and Tuesday. 8 job interviews, Monday through Tuesday. And they won't hire me. You know, there comes a point, apparently that point is around $30-something thousand, where you realize that nobody is going to hire you. And that I'm going to have to either open up my own business or continue to dance. One or the two. Because these people are not going to give me the opportunity. The only times that I've gotten jobs recently was working for people that were batshit crazy. I worked at a winery. The lady that opened the winery, I didn't know this when I walked in there asking for a job, but she apparently is a damn full-fledged alcoholic, and everybody knows it, but everybody watches her kill herself. She's going to end up dead in a ditch from a car accident because she drinks and drives on a daily basis. So I had to deal with this crazy lady for 2 years, wanting to look at her like a mother figure, but in all actuality, she was just using me like everybody else and using me as a punching bag every time she got fucking drunk. And then not only that, I was having to clean up all of her fucking messes. And I even told you guys that back last year, I said, watch her hire me back. Remember, she fired me because she said I was a felon. Then she hired me back. And I said, watch her hire me back and then offer me a place to stay and then try to work the dog shit out of me. I said that. And 2 months later, I was living that. So I saw it coming from a distance. I could see her pattern. I could see her behavior. And I knew why she wanted me to work for her. And then, trying to escape out of that damn job, but still holding on to it by a thread, I put up with it for 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 2 years. And in the meantime, I decided to go find a different job to try to get away from her. I go get a different job, and these sons of bitches are trying to prostitute me out the back of a restaurant. And the cops know about it. It's just unbelievable how messed up the world is. You know, and I really think that people have been really comfortable with showing me their dirty sides because they think that I'm like them. I think that a lot of people that have exposed themselves to me about how grimy and dirty and evil they are as a person, they have did that because they thought that I was like them. because of the fact that I did drugs for so long, because of the fact that when I was on drugs, I caught a criminal record. I truly believe that a lot of people have come into my life and told me the truth about who they are because they think that I'm like them. You know, when I started working for that lady at the winery, she kept saying she wanted to find me a husband and find me a husband. And she was so hyper fixated on me being with a man. And if you know, then you know the last thing I'm concerned about right now is a fucking man. Lord, that's what got me into this situation. All right. So the last thing I'm looking for is a fucking boyfriend. But this lady was so insistent and she kept persistent. And, you know, she was just always looking for me a boyfriend. And there came a point where, you know, I had a friend who was a cop and we spent some time together at the winery. He had come to visit me and we were catching up, and I've known this person for a very long time. And she kept telling me that I should run off with him and have sex with him and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And she's like persistent. She's like in the back, like she keeps saying, why don't you go spend time with him? Why don't you go off and do this with him? Why don't you go da 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 da? She literally pulls me into the kitchen and she pulls me up by the shirt strings and she's like, you're going to regret when you're 50 not fucking him. And I'm just like, lady, you are literally the devil in sheep's clothing, ain't you? You are literally the devil in sheep's clothing. I didn't say that, but I knew it. And I knew it for a while. But when you're dependent, you know, I'm working there 3-4 days a week, running the bar, running all of these weddings, setting up for graduation events and baby showers. And, it was an event center. So I'm setting all of these things up, having to deal with this lady. And I needed the job. I wanted to make my truck payment. Every time I got paid, I would immediately go and pay bills. And so I was responsible with that money. And I'm so proud of myself for learning to become frugal and not spending any extra money that I don't have. But it was definitely that experience with her. I used to think that only men could be predators. In the past couple of years since getting clean, I have been exposed to women that are predators. Huge predators. That woman that I worked for at the restaurant, her and her husband coercing these young girls into these sexual situations with these high-powered government officials and shit. Wild. It's like something out of a movie. There has to be a reason that I'm seeing all of this evil. Like, that God is revealing this to me, because most people are not seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm living through it. Something that I didn't tell y'all, when I went to go meet with those cops to talk about the restaurant incident, as soon as I walked in the room to talk to the officer, it was a cop that eats at the restaurant. Remember I told you that the cops eat for free at this restaurant where they were trying to coerce these young girls into selling? I mean, the girls were prostituting out of the restaurant. Let's call it for what it is. The girls were prostituting out of a restaurant. The owners of the restaurant wanted me to go on a trip to New Orleans with them and offered me large amounts of money to do all kinds of illegal shit. And when I refused to do so, they started bullying me and treating me like shit and punishing me. And the cops knew about it. And the cops asked me to come in and talk about what happened to me. So I did. And as I'm walking into the room to talk to these cops, I noticed that one of the cops in the room has been in the restaurant and ate free food there. I'd waited on her. So Michael Carpino has the law in his pocket. Big time. Big time. It's okay, though. They did tell me that I could sue him civilly and that I'd win. I thought it was $5,000. They told me that I can sue him for $10,000. I'll have to spend $135 and I'll have to go to court and waste gas to do that. But they did tell me that I need to sue him, and then I can get the money that they owe me from that restaurant job plus some. for pain and suffering, for the mental distress that they put me through by sexually harassing me for 2 months while I was trying to run their fucking business. Once again, a bunch of perverts that are more worried about their pants than their actual pants pockets. Y'all are so stupid that you're willing to put your business on the line, sexually harassing women who are trying to help grow your business. Smart, real smart. Fucking idiots. The Carpinos. It won't be the last time we ever talk about them. Their daughter was recently arrested, so the one that snatched the iPad out of my hand, yeah. So we're going to be circling back to them. It's definitely one of those families that are going to be back in the fucking news. And I have a feeling that it's going to be because their restaurant is infiltrated and fucking swatted for prostitution. Unbelievable. If you haven't seen those videos, you can go find them. We go over all of the text messages from the owners of the restaurant, and the female who was the owner's wife, she kept freaking trying to get me to send her nudes, and freaking she was trying to send me nudes, and it was disgusting, y'all. Like, she was telling me that what kind of sexual shit she was into. Let's not forget, they hired me to be a bartender and waitress for the club. It wasn't a club. It was a regular restaurant. It was a restaurant that I got hired at. I was a bartender, and the owners of this establishment were hiring young girls right out of high school, coercing them into selling their bodies to high-end government officials. We had an election party in this bar, right? And they took me off the schedule because I wouldn't go home with people from the House of Representatives in South Carolina and Georgia. We had men that are in the House of Representatives in South Carolina and Georgia that were coming into the bar and sliding me their business card. And I was like, I'm not meeting you anywhere, buddy. I don't know what you think this fucking is. That's how people end up dead, first of all. But when I refused to go home with these government officials, the owners of the restaurant took me off the schedule. They knew I wasn't going to sleep with none of the men coming to the election party, and they couldn't have that. So that was one of the last signs that I got that they were running girls, besides the customers and the girls themselves admitting that, you know, they did this. It was pretty obvious because I asked everyone when I first started what their paychecks were, if their paychecks were right. It's something that I like to do. I would advise you to do the same thing if you're working a regular 9-to-5 or any job. If you're going to be getting a paycheck, one thing that you can do when you first start at that job to make sure that your employer is trustworthy is to go to every single employee and ask them if their checks are right. Hey, I'm new here. Just want to introduce myself. By the way, is your check right? When you get your payroll check, is it right? Have you ever had an issue? These are valid questions that you can ask other employees at the business that you're currently working for. And I always do. And when I first started at this restaurant, it's called Uptown Tavern in Eden, North Carolina. Small little backwoods town. You would never expect that these people are doing illegal shit, but they absolutely are. And I have every intention of suing him for the money that he owes me, because let's not forget, I worked there for almost 2 months and the man didn't pay me. And I have that in writing if you want to see that. But, you know, what was I about to say? He freaking... They definitely knew me prior to me knowing who they were. And I didn't realize that until months later. But they definitely knew me, or knew of me. And they thought just because I was a stripper, that meant that I was going to come in there and start slinging tail all over that place like a damn dog in heat. Like, what? Like, what? Listen, not every stripper is a whore, honey, and not every whore... No, not many whores know how to dance. I can tell you that much. Not many whores know how to dance. And not every stripper is a whore. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking. All I know is it was illegal and I'm going to have to sue them for that money, and it sucks. It sucks. You know, I wasted 2 months in a job going to work, bending over backwards, and I'm talking about 60-hour work weeks. 60-hour work weeks, okay? 10 hours just on Sunday running the entire restaurant by myself with over 80 seats in that bitch. A full bar and 15 to 20 tables, you can set 4 to 6 to 8 people at each table. You start doing the math. We're talking about 100 damn seats in a restaurant, and I'm running the entire place by myself. I went above and beyond for these dumb fucks. If you go look at their reviews, you'll see that there's customers in the reviews of Uptown Tavern talking about how poorly they treat their staff and how cheap the owners are, that they won't hire more than one person to run the entire restaurant on Sundays. And I ultimately quit on a Sunday. I got 4 tablets and a computer. I got DoorDash going, a full restaurant, and DoorDash. No. Y'all can keep it. Y'all can keep it. And y'all sexually harassing me. And y'all trying to coerce me into doing drugs. And y'all trying to coerce me into selling ass. No, I'm good. I got to go. Y'all crazy. You can call me crazy, but I've met crazy, honey. Crazy works in a restaurant in a small town called Eden, North Carolina. That's crazy. Selling your ass for a burger. That's crazy. Meeting somebody, hunting somebody down off the internet and following them and going to every Planet Fitness to see if they're there. That's crazy. I'm not crazy. Well, maybe just a little, but you know what I mean. I ain't out here hunting down random strangers off the damn internet, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I think that they definitely know what those people are up to at the restaurant. It's an issue of proving it. It's a huge issue of proving it. And not only do they know what's going on, but I think that there's something more that I don't know that's going on that they do know, because they were really persistent about asking about drugs. Specifically, hard drugs, coke. And I'm just like, I don't know. They wanted to know, they wanted to know if somebody in the restaurant was supplying it. And I'm just like, I don't know. I said, I don't do drugs. And when they offered me drugs, I denied them and got the fuck out of there. And like I tell you guys, if I even know of somebody using drugs, I run the opposite way, because I understand how evil people are. People will absolutely come in your life and get you strung out on drugs just to bring you down, because they're miserable that they're strung out. They will put them in your face knowing that you're trying to stay clean, just to fucking make you relapse. And so I stay away from people that even talk about drugs. It's not a part of my life. It's not something that I do. And if you want to stay clean, you have to get away from that stuff. You have to. That's the only way to stay clean, is to stay away from any and everyone or anyone that can trigger you to go back to using. And if you're in an abusive situation, it's hard, babe. It's hard. You're doing drugs because you're allowing this person to abuse you. And if you get clean and you go back in that situation, you're going to go back to drugs because that person is still abusing you. You have to get away from that person and then get clean, or get clean and get immediately away from that person. Hello from North Korea, a place I would, well, maybe not North. I would love to visit Korea. I wonder if he's fucking joking. I don't think that North Korea, they don't have, he's fucking joking. That's hilarious. They don't have the internet there, do they? They can't be on social media over there. I don't think that you can, I don't think that they have access to the free world. You know what I mean? Kim Jong-un has all of his people under lock and key. That's so funny. It took me a minute. I was like, I know who you are, Raymond. You're another piece of shit. I know exactly who you are. You've been watching me for months. I know Raymond personally, y'all. Raymond thinks I'm very smart. That's what he used to tell me. Project 2025, I know. I don't know, man. I think that, I think people are losing their shit over it, ain't they? Ain't that crazy how people are losing their minds over a fake conspiracy? But when we were out here telling the truth about them rigging the election, they said we were crazy. But that actually happened, and we have evidence and proof to support that. Now who's crazy out here talking about Donald Trump faked his own fucking assassination? Like, he set all of that up. I mean, that's crazy. Man, 2024 has definitely been a fucking interesting year so far. Just, hasn't it? Like, things that we didn't expect just taking place. Crazy stuff, too. And I thought for sure they was going to stick Obama up there. Michelle. I thought they was going to put Michelle up there, but it's Miss Harris. Kamala. All I know is that she's got like a 2% approval rating online. So she's right up there with JFK. 6% approval rating. JFK can barely get a damn sentence out. The man sounds like he needs to be on bed rest. I don't know if we can depend on him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but isn't he a Democrat? Wasn't he a Democrat? What level of Democrat is he, though? Is he like crazy like the Clintons? Or is he like... Damn, I'm trying to figure out who to compare him to. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Oh shit, I'm trying to think of like a good Democrat. Hold on. It's coming. You know, Rogan was once a Democrat. Oh God. Yeah, so are we talking the Clintons or Rogan? Democrat. Like, I need to know where JFK is. Because if we talking Clintons, off with him. Off with him. Throw him in jail. But if he was like, you know, like a Democrat like Rogan was back in the day before he kind of went right, then, you know, maybe he might have a chance. But it still says 6%. So I don't think he has a shot in the dark when it comes to Trump. I think that there's no question about it. He's got the presidency in the bag as long as people actually get out and vote. And that's the important part, is that we all get out and vote. We got to vote. We got to vote. It's going to be the first time I'm voting, so I'm excited. I'm really excited. I just hope that it helps, because people are really going through it right now. I mean, I am. I'm literally stranded. Jesus. But, you know, people are really going through it. But like I said, there's some kind of financial issues that's going to be taking place in the next couple of years, and things might get a little worse before they get better. And hell, the way people are starting to talk online now, it might be worse than even I fucking imagined. Oh, it's so fucking hot. Let's see. It stinks out here. It's like the fucking drains. Huh? A streetwalker sitting in a $60,000 truck. No, you idiot. I grew up and got away from abusers. You know, it's funny to me that all of these people are on my channel talking shit. It's real funny. I must be hitting a nerve. You know, once again, the whole projecting thing, people that are actively on drugs, they take things personal. And so I know that there's probably a wide selection of people that are in active addiction that's seeing my stuff and leaving these comments. But I just want you to know that even though you don't have your head screwed on right now, and you probably have more meth in your system than you know what to do with, there is help for you. And if you're thinking about getting clean, then that means that you want to get clean so that you can. You can if you're thinking about it. If you're thinking about it, that means you want it. So just fucking do it. And stop coming here and harassing me when I'm doing wonderful in my recovery and can pass a drug test. When you can pass a drug test and you're willing to show it online, then you can come back here and talk shit to me. How about that? Deal? Deal. Capiche? Capiche. I love that. Smells like fucking sewage. Like, I don't know what they're doing back here. I'm at this restaurant. I don't know if they fucking like dump, but it could just be the fucking area. Like, sometimes when it rains and you're near like the swamplands and like the bayou or whatever you want to call it, when it rains, it makes it stink like skunk ass everywhere. Skunk patootie. Skunk padussy. Bad when it rains. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. That water from the sky hitting that water everywhere else, setting in the road. It smells like ass. This looks like it's some kind of parking. I don't fucking know. I might just fucking prop up and see if the cops show up on me, y'all. I don't know what to do. I really don't have the gas to be driving anywhere. I mean, the fucking 30 miles till gallon, till empty. I need to save that because my truck is a big truck and it might say 30 miles till empty, but it will leave my ass stranded on the side of the road with no gas. Like, I will literally be stranded out of gas and I don't have a gas tank because I've never needed to worry about this because I've always had fucking gas. I've run out of gas before when I was on drugs, but I've never had any, like, gas insecurities. Like, I usually have gas in my car. It's so hot. Shit. That was my windshield wipers. My legs are, like, stuck to this fucking seat. I need some air for a minute. I literally am dying. My shorts are... Let me get my window covers up. Oh. God. Actually, I'm not going to put my window covers up here or sleep here because I need to find a bathroom, number one. I'm wondering if this Bojangles is open. I'm so stressed. I fucking hate this. Like, here's the thing. Sometimes you just don't know which way to go because, you know, when it's this late, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to have the front door open, which means that I got to find a gas station, which means that I've got to find Wi-Fi so that I can GPS my way to a gas station so that I can use the bathroom. Everything's a fucking hassle. I'm going to use what gas I have doing that. I'll get somewhere and fucking park, and I'm going to be stuck there tomorrow because, yeah, it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. Maybe me losing my vehicle will be enough. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's what has to happen. I don't know. Because all I know is every single penny I get goes back into this vehicle to food and gas. I have not even bought myself body wash in 3 months because I can't afford it. Every single penny I make goes back into this vehicle. And I can't do anything about it. And getting a cheaper vehicle is not an option because let me just tell you, I went to go look at a minivan. They wanted $60,000 for this minivan. They wanted me to trade this truck in for a more expensive fucking car. I got this truck for an amazing deal. It's already halfway paid off. It would be stupid to turn it in when it's already halfway paid off. I might as well just pay the son of a bitch off. But, like, I'm probably going to lose it. And that's fine. You know, maybe that has to happen. Maybe that'll bring better things into my life. I don't know. I think that this is the only thing that is left that is tying me to my abuser who I've not spoke to. I can't even get into my own Ally financial account because this motherfucker went in there and changed all of my passwords. So I don't even have any access to an account that I own. And there's no laws in place. There's no laws in place for people in my position. So it is what it is. And even though I co-signed for this motherfucker on this vehicle that's currently in my fucking possession because his credit was so bad, he had, you know, they had to put it in my name. I'm the lien holder on the vehicle or whatever you want to call it. But because I didn't have proof of income, they made me co-sign for him, which is weird. But now the bank is giving me a hard time about getting his name off of it. I can refinance, but I have to have proof of income for that I don't have. So I just fucking keep going in circles. And, you know, maybe if I just dump the motherfucker back on his front porch, fuck it. It ain't gonna hurt me none. I mean, yeah, it'll hurt my credit, but I can fix that. I can fix that. If I just dump it off to him and let him fucking have it, he can deal with it. He can make the fucking payment if it's that important. That's where I'm at in life. Because all of my money goes into it. And I can't even find a fucking job. Nobody will hire me. Nobody. Not Wendy's, not fucking Waffle House, not Target, not Walmart, not nowhere. Nowhere will hire. Edible arrangements, fucking bohangles. I done interviewed at about 10 bohangles. They won't hire me. There's still people in here, so thank God the door is open so I can go in here and pee. If it was any later, might not have that option. I might have had to go find a bush. See how wonderful people are? Who comes in the bathroom and washes their hands and just leaves the sink running? Like, people have no home training and they show it everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. And I don't use those because I don't know why they even made those. It actually increases the bacteria on your hands. For those that don't know, hand dryers are nasty. You're better off wiping them on your hands, even if your clothes are dirty. That bacteria coming off the wall from everybody's hands, hitting the floor and bouncing back up. Read about it online. It's a whole thing. They're horrible. Well, I reckon I can go find somewhere to sleep. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to jail tonight if this motherfucker rolls up on me tonight. I shouldn't even have to be concerned about this because this motherfucker wants to shoot his fucking shot. Like, people don't realize that part of the reason that I'm so fucking high strung is because I'm constantly paranoid about people trying to hurt me, because every time I turn around, I have another motherfucker trying to hurt me. It's not delusion when it's actively fucking happening. It would be one thing if it wasn't happening, but this son of a bitch rolled up on me. Tusk, what are you doing? You're asking to be shot and send me to jail. You're begging for it. And I was too nice. I shouldn't have been nice. Ladies, do not do what I do. Learn from my mistakes. If some weird motherfucker that you don't know rolls up on you at the Planet Fitness or wherever, and he tells you that he's been looking for you, don't be as nice as I was, because I shouldn't have been nice. I should have damn out with my thumbs. That's what I should have done. I should have been like, who sent you? And when he wouldn't answer, I should have went to town on his fucking face. But I didn't. I was too fucking nice. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, you can change my oil, yeah. I mean, honestly, what do you say? I'm in shock. Like, who are you? What do you say? When some motherfucker shows up saying that he's been looking for you, that his friend is a follower of yours, and that he sent him to fill my gas tank up and change my oil. Once again, if I was 22, I probably would have fell for that shit. Because I did when I was 17. That's what got me in this fucking situation. It's the same situation, different day. God, this air feels so good. When I tell you that my clothes are fucking soaked through and through. And I don't know if here is a good idea, because it's one of these small towns where I know the law is going to show up. I know it without a doubt. I've not seen no other homeless person. So I know that I'm going to have an issue with the law the next couple of days with me stuck here. I mean, I don't know how long I'll be stuck here. I really don't give a fuck at this point. I've kind of given up emotionally, you know. And there's only so much fight that one person has in them. And I'm telling you what, I've been fighting fucking tooth and nail since I come out the fucking womb. And I'm tired. But I don't know where to park. And I know that the law is going to show up. I know they are. Because I haven't seen another homeless person. And when you don't see another homeless person, you can best believe that that local sheriff's department is going to make your life a living hell until you get somewhere where they can't see you. And that is absolutely fucked up. Absolutely fucked up. But I'm gonna go. I gotta go find somewhere to sleep, y'all. My head is killing me. I've got like maybe 2 old little pins that I found that I'm gonna try to calm my nerves down with before I go to bed. Maybe. I wish there was like rest stops and stuff out here, but there's not. There's nothing. I've never said the N-word ever, not once in my life, so I don't know who you're talking about. Matter of fact, I've had other people say it around me, and I've told them to shut the fuck up and to stop saying negative shit. I don't believe in saying the N-word, and matter of fact, if you do recall, 2 months ago, I was talking about a girl that is currently actively in prison for murder. Well, she's pending trial for murder. She killed some guy that she was stripping for at the strip club. They found him dead in his house. And if you look back at that story, if you go find that story, I explain in that story that this girl walked into a bar with me dropping the N-word, and I told her to shut the fuck up, that she was going to get us jumped and murdered. And she said, it's okay, I'm mixed. I'm half Latina, half white. I can say the N-word. And if you go back and see the story, I said that she was an idiot, and that's why she's in prison now. Well, jail. And she's probably going to spend the rest of her life in prison because of that. So the last person that I heard say the N-word, I told him to shut the fuck up, because I don't believe in people saying that. I don't even believe in black people saying that. It's disrespectful. Very disrespectful. I definitely don't walk around calling myself a cracker, and I ain't never called nobody one. I don't see the amusement behind the N-word whatsoever. I understand that it's part of the culture, most definitely, and I listen to a lot of rap, so I understand why they use it, but I don't agree with it, and I think that it negatively impacts the black community by using it and being called that. And the terminology is just wrong. It's just disrespectful, in my opinion. I don't like to hear that word. But I do cuss like a sailor, and I know I need to work on that. I'm a work in progress. Listen, I'm trying to pick a damn struggle. I can't have them all. Y'all got to take some of these struggles away from me. Hey, if my potty mouth is the worst thing about me, hey, okay. That's actually pretty good nowadays in comparison to most people in society. Oh, Lord, I swear to God, everybody is out here high on something. I ain't lying. They all high on something. Ozempic, alcohol, tobacco, I don't know, man. But everybody I meet is high on something. Yeah, they're back there circling me. So I'm thinking that maybe he's waiting for me to put up my window covers. Can y'all see that? Hell, I can't see what I'm trying to see because my windows is fogged up. There's a Durango back there. I'm wondering if he's waiting to see if I put on my window covers. Let me tell you, these little small towns, they ain't got nothing to do but watch you, and they absolutely do. So pay attention to your surroundings, because there's weird men and weird cops out here with nothing better to do than take your ass to jail because you're not compliant. So I'm wondering if he's wondering if I'm going to sleep here and put up my window covers, or if he's thinking that maybe if they're just watching me. They watch me a lot. Like I said, if I'm on the bad side of town and I've been sitting there for a while, I'll notice that the police are watching me, waiting for me to meet somebody. They think I'm in the bad side of town because I have to be buying drugs because I'm white. Like, that's what it is. It's absolutely racial profiling. And I know this because I've caught drug charges like this. I have a criminal record from exactly what I'm telling you. And they told me, I said, well, how'd you know? How'd you get me? And they said, well, you're white. So I'm speaking from fucking experience. They said, cute little white girl, look like she got mom and daddy's money. What's she doing over here? Let me go see what she doing. You know, just because I'm poor right now doesn't mean I've always been poor. Let's not forget. So they absolutely see a nice bougie ass car on a certain part of town and they profile people. And I've caught criminal charges from this profiling. So I know that they're watching me while I'm out here. They always do now. Once you get a criminal record, it is over for you. You can just expect to be harassed by the police for the rest of your fucking life. I'm just letting people know the harsh reality because nobody else is going to tell you the truth. So I'm telling you the truth. The moment that you lay down and take that fucking felony, your life is over. You're never going to be hired anywhere. Society is always going to think you're up to nefarious shit, even if you go straight lace and do what I'm doing currently. And you can do it consecutively for almost half a century, half a decade. And they still going to have people out here, naysayers, saying, okay? But not only that, you're going to have nobody to help you in the journey. That's the sad part, is doing it all alone. If you don't have the motivation to stay clean, it's going to be really hard. Support is so hard out here. For just community support for people in sobriety, it's so hard. But you're never going to be able to work again. The cops will make sure of that. That felony, you'll never work again. And if you do work, it's going to be for half the fucking pay and bullshit fucking hours. And you're going to be fucking doing labor work out in the fucking heat because nowhere else will fucking hire you and give you a chance and educate you and put a little fucking hope in you, you know? And it's a sad part of being a felon. The cops are going to harass you. They are. They're going to run your tags. You know, a lot of felons, this is why a lot of felons get vehicles and put it in other people's names. I did that for a long time. That's part of the reason I don't have my Nissan truck right now that I paid off. Because it's in my abuser's name. Even though I paid for it and it's my truck, it's in his name. Legally, it's his truck. But a lot of people who are felons put their vehicles in other people's names because of the fucking harassment that they face from law enforcement. I could understand if I'd caught a charge in the past 6 months, year, 6 years. If I had called a charge in the past 6, 7, 8 years, I could understand, but I haven't. I haven't used any drugs. I haven't even been around drugs. I don't even know people to get drugs from. I've completely changed my life. I still have all of the bad consequences of shit that happened 20 years ago, and I don't understand when society's gonna fucking let it go. Because at this point, society has said, you're unhireable. The bank is saying, oh, well, we gotta have that truck. We're coming to get that truck. And I'm telling the bank, well, yeah, but society is telling me that they're not going to hire me, bro. Like, I done spent over 30 grand in a year. I don't even know how much time looking for a job, and nobody will give me the opportunity. And every job that I do get, it's working for unsavory people that want to use me for their own perversion. Every single fucking job. The restaurant, the winery, every fucking job, the strip clubs, every single fucking job is nothing but evil fucking people hiring me for a purpose to use me. Every single job. They're all fucking crazy. Crazy. And they've literally drove me crazy. They've literally drove me crazy. I am half crazy because of the people that I allowed into my life. And this is a warning for people who are around unsavory people. You are going to end up like me if you are a good person and you know that you are hanging out with fucking crazy. You're going to end up crazy because you're not evil like the people that you're surrounded by. It's unnatural for you to be around people that are putting you through so much damage. Being in relationships with people that are cheating on you, beating you, starving you, making you homeless. I just wish somebody would have told me this when I was 16, 17. That people that love you, their love doesn't come with conditions. Well, I hope that everybody has a safe night. I hope that everybody sleeps well. I'm going to pack it in for the evening. I haven't eaten today, but I can't eat. I'm so stressed. I can't even think about food. Like, my head hurts so bad. Like, I don't know how I'm holding it together. I don't know how. I mean, I have broke down several times today, but, like, honestly, I don't know how I'm not literally driving this truck off a bridge right now from the stress. Like, I don't know. All I can do is keep pushing forward and hope that a miracle fucking happens. Maybe my ex will text me and send me the fucking $1,000. I don't know. I did. I sent him a fucking request for $1,000 because I need to make my truck payment. And here's the thing. He's literally the reason that I've wasted a fucking month. Let's not forget, he invited me for the 4th of July. He dicked me around for a whole week, treating me like shit, and then called the cops on me. Then I left, and he tries to get back in my good graces by throwing fucking money in my face. Remember? Shows up and throws money in my face like it fixes my problems, when literally he created half of the problems that I'm currently going through. So, there's a lot that I haven't told y'all. There's a lot y'all don't know. First of all, he had me move into a fucking house that was under foreclosure, and he never told me. That caused so many problems in my life at that time. I shouldn't be talking to the son of a bitch at all, because he's not a good fucking person. He come into my life lying, cheating on me. Came into my life lying and cheating on me. I should have never stayed with him, but this is codependency. This is an abusive relationship. This is what this is. So I stayed. Out of desperation, thinking this person loved me, believing it. Y'all think I'm tripping? I wish I was. I wish I was. You know, I wonder when they're going to make contact, because this is literally the same cops that I ran away from earlier. So I guess they run this whole fucking area. And they're not happy about me being here. And they're going to keep harassing me until I leave. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, I ain't got no gas to leave. So you're stuck with me. You're stuck with me. Unless you want to tow me and make my life worse. But I don't know, just don't. There's a lot that I'm not saying because I'm kind of allowing this person, even though I hate their fucking guts, I'm still allowing them a little bit of privacy. So there's a lot that I'm not saying because it would expose them in a way that's not nice. Even though I absolutely should. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so nice. I don't. And I am nice because I could have put that boy's fucking internet all over the internet, and I didn't. That boy's phone number all over the internet, and I didn't. And hell, it took me 5 months to even finally come out and admit that it was the Carpinos that were trying to force me into sex trafficking over at their restaurant. I didn't come out right and say that. But if the shoe was on the other foot, though, nobody would allow me any respect. They would throw me under the bus and make me out to be a fucking bad guy when I wasn't. It's crazy how the world works. It really is. It's crazy. But I'm going to run. I hope you guys have a good night. Get some rest. We'll talk tomorrow. I'll let you know if I get kidnapped and killed. It's really scary to be out here by yourself and then have random strangers coming up to you. And, you know, like I said, I initially didn't know how to react because I am a nice person. But the longer that I stew on it, I realize how dangerous that was. And he could have absolutely killed me. And it pisses me off that he would come to me and try to play on my heartstrings when I'm already in a horrible situation. Like, what a horrible human. You're exactly the type of person that I'm trying to escape. The irony. Do you not see it? But I love you guys, and I'm praying for y'all, and pray for me, because God knows I need it. Facts. 100%. More than ever. But be safe. Bye, y'all.